Everyone, welcome back to the RF Fitness Podcast, brought to you by rffitness.net. I fucked that up. Your source for online coaching, built for and by busy grown-ups just like you who are on the quest for health and strength in everyday life. I am your host, Rob Finlayson, certified personal trainer, elder brother, and future state fair enjoyer at the time of recording.
Okay.
And I'm here with my co-host,
Rachael Hammered. I don't know that.
we couldn't fuck this up anymore.
No, we really couldn't. A little sister and certified, as always, attempting to be a fitter person, but I wasn't attempted last night because I'm a past state fair goer.
Rachael, you attended the Minnesota State Fair yesterday, did you not?
Minnesota State Fair. Yes, I did.
Is there a jingle? Is that the jingle for it?
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah.
I don't
We're nailing not swearing thus far.
Sorry, guys. It's a little bit late. We're a little bit loopy. So what did you went to see a special concert?
Yes, I saw T-Pain.
Okay.
And Ludacris. Dude, T-Pain, it said, like, show starts at 7. T-Pain was playing at 6:59.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That is legitimately surprising.
It was very... I mean, like, T-Pain isn't, like, some, like, gangster rapper, like, kind of, you know, he was silly. He was just being a silly boy up there.
So boy.
And
did he talk about his Twitch stream?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
He didn't like. I really love when like artists talk to the crowds and stuff.
Yeah,
and
gotta do crowd work, man.
Yeah, T-Pain did no crowd work, but he did a lot of very funny dancing. So like
for your benefit, or like just because that's how he is?
I think both.
Okay.
He did a lot of like pretend penis dance moves.
Sure. Who hasn't?
You know, the huge.
Normal things you see at the state fair.
Yeah. But no, I mean the show was very entertaining. It was filled with white people in their 30s and 40s.
Minnesota State Fair, guys.
Yes.
I don't think they expected much different. How was Ludacris? How was Luda?
He was fantastic. He didn't do many songs from like beginning to end kind of thing.
He did like a medley kind of thing?
Yeah, like because he has so many freaking hits.
I mean, yeah, he had like 100 songs, well over 100 songs, I'm sure, in his entire discography.
Apparently, What's Your Fantasy is 24 years old.
Oh my God. Oh, no, my bones. How dare you?
What's your fantasy?
Aging backwards at this point now. Jesus, bro.
Yeah. We had a couple snafus. Apparently, our seats were some hot seats, and people attempted to steal them twice.
Wow. Wow, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Be better, Minnesota
we
State Fair.
Went to the bathroom and we came back and we're like, oh, you're not us.
You were there with your bestie.
Like, okay, so I know you just gave me a bunch of crap before this. Yeah, I have a lot of besties, but Sam
gave you a very reasonable amount of crap for this.
Yes, whatever.
With Sam, right?
Samantha is my number one. The top tier. The Simone Biles.
Wow. The GOAT.
Bestie. The GOAT. The true GOAT.
Goated bestie. All right.
Yes. She's the sheep. She's the donkey. She's everything.
I'm sure she'd love knowing she is the donkey.
You are the donkey bestie. Hee-haw.
We're just off to such a strong start, dude.
I think so. Yeah, man. So everyone was just getting turned. I actually ran into the urgent care nurse that I brought Linnea to like 2 days ago.
She's like, oh, you again. Good to see you at this hip-hop concert, concerned mother.
whatever. She was just like, I swear I'm normally not drunk at Ludacris
Oh,
concerts.
she wasn't working? She was
Oh no.
Oh, I thought you meant she was there as, like, medical staff.
No, 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 no.
That's even better, dude.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah.
And she was there with her husband, and yeah, it was fantastic. But I didn't know who she was for the longest time. So I ran through
Uh,
all of my regular questions, like, are you in Centennial School District? Do you get your
uh,
dogs groomed? Are you involved with community ed? Like,
who is your daddy and what does he do?
yeah, stuff like that. And so, yeah, she was like, somewhere or another, my work. Where do you work? At urgent care. Oh my God, I just brought my kid in because she got bug bites.
Uh,
Blame it on mom.
I'm gonna need a little
Okay.
bit of can we unpack that for a second?
Yes, okay, so we went to Tamarack,
Love it. Big shout
like
out Tamarack.
yes, but yeah,
Ah.
um, went into, like, the little foresty area, and
Mhm.
she was smothered in mosquitoes.
Ugh.
It was insanity,
Yeah.
and then
After all the rain, I suppose they probably just went
yes,
gangbusters, yeah.
yeah, it was really, really bad, and then, it like, they just got uber swollen, and they were really hot, and,
Oh,
it
poor
was, like,
kid.
wrapping around her ankles and woke her up
Oh,
in the middle of the night. She couldn't sleep, and I gave her
ugh,
Zyrtec, it didn't do anything, and so that's when I was just like, "Not even Zyrtec is doing anything, and it's, like, still getting worse," and then I sent a
yeah.
picture to mom, and she said, "Go to the urgent care right now," and I was like, "Alright, so she's
Mom
probably gonna die."
mom was like,
Um,
"This kid has Zika. Like,
yes.
get gone right now. Make peace.
Yeah, and then so Eric was like, "Okay."
Here we go at,
But
like, 2 in the morning."
no, it was not 2 in the morning, it was 5:30, we were supposed to meet his family for dinner, that's why he was, like, kind of annoyed.
Ah, okay.
Um, he still made it to dinner. Um,
Don't don't worry, listeners.
yeah,
Rachel's
right,
husband has
I know.
still made it to dinner after bringing
So,
their one and only child to urgent care
for mosquito bites.
for a mosquito bite. If you wanna know where we're all at right now,
I know.
that's where y'all are at.
I told her, I was just like, it was so embarrassing, like, you could totally see this is my first child
Right,
of
yeah,
it all.
yeah.
Um, whatever, come at me. I care about my kid too much.
Right,
Um,
yeah, if you're gonna care about anything too much, if they feel like your only child
yeah, yeah.
is a good one.
So, but yeah, the concert was amazing.
Mhm.
Especially after the concert was amazing because everybody, like, most of the people that were there were like post Luda, so everybody was having a good time.
Dope.
Yes. So, we went and got buckets of fries, and I bought 3
Ooh,
extra
nice.
buckets and handed them out to all the cops, like, that were
Like, just
hanging
'cause.
out. Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Um, and, which then we also got some inside tea. I said, "Why are you guys from all over the place? Like,
Mm.
isn't there enough cops?" And
The answer is yes.
yeah. Um, and this one guy was from Thief River Falls. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Where even is that?
Super north.
That's yeah, very far away.
Very north. And I said, like, "Do you guys, like, work the whole state fair?" And they said, "Yeah, like, we get a bunch of, bonus overtime and stuff like
Oh,
that." And,
sure.
I said, "Oh, well, like, do you bring your family? Because you, like, have to up and leave your family from hours and hours away."
Yeah.
And they were like, all of them were like, "We would never bring our family to the state fair."
What?
And I was like, "Okay."
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah.
is also now the second, not only, like, cop, but the second, like, interaction we've had with cops specifically that work the state fair that said, "Never bring your child to the state fair."
Oh, because they disappear.
I think there's more than that.
Like, what?
I don't know, man, but I mean, I don't know, but they're these guys are kinda rude, and they were like,
What? Oh,
Okay, all right. Let's
What?
let me finish the story, and we're gonna then just move on from the
Okay.
subject. Um,
Don't. Thank you. Legitimately, Rachel. Thank you for stopping me.
fantastic. They said, "Oh, you could put him on a leash, and don't worry, it's not like they'll get tangled up in the massive amounts of people."
What?
So it doesn't sound like the leash is the option either. It sounds like the option is don't bring your kid.
I guess.
Yeah.
Was
So
there a bunch of people? I heard we're like breaking records for attendance every day now or whatever at the fair.
I
Was it
don't
like
know.
hella busy?
Intoxicated Sam was very concerned about how many cops there were. Um,
Uh-huh.
and she was like, "Do you think I should ask if something's going on?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Okay, I'm gonna go ask." And
God.
and then this cop was just like, "It's because it's like super slow, and so we're just like not camouflaged by masses of people,
We're
so it
kind of
looks
just
like
standing
there's a
around.
lot of us. Yeah,
Oh, sure, yeah.
it's the same amount. There's just less of you."
There's always been this many of us. Now there's just less of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, but and then we ran into this guy that like, oh yeah, his girlfriend accidentally kicked my cookies. Um,
Whoa.
and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." Blah
Party
blah
foul.
blah. And I was like, "Are you trying to get some of these cookies or something like that?" And
Yeah.
the guy was just like, "I mean, are you offering?" And the girl was, I assume, black. The guy was white,
Mhm.
and she was like, of course, like the white man wants to take, and it was so funny. And
God. The
she's
white man wants to take the cookies.
and then I like opened the bucket and you know like we were like because we were just I don't know having a good time or whatever and I opened the bucket and I was like, "Yeah, man, you can have one." And he took one and he's just like, "Oh, these are connected, but it's still technically one cookie."
Bro,
And
come on.
yes, and his I think girlfriend was just like, "White man." And
Colonizer mindset.
I literally said, "Okay, colonizer."
Nice. Got him.
Oh, it was
Hit him
a
with it.
yeah, it was a great interaction. And
Sounds like
I think she said
it.
like you're just taking from a person of color, and I was like, "Are you thinking that I'm a person of color? It's dark enough." I don't know. Um,
Aren't we? Technically?
I don't know.
Right? I don't know. Like what is our ethnic identity? Where do we fall?
Oh, I was just about to say girl. Yeah,
Girl?
girl. I call Eric's best friend bitch all the time, and it drives him insane.
Weird, I can't imagine why.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I remember specifically this guy that I was friends with in high school that is 100% Mexican said, like, don't even bring up the fact that you're a quarter. Like, it's offensive. You're nothing. You are
Two
white.
Mexicans?
Stop your. No, like, my Mexican friend told me, you don't count. You're white.
As
Shut up.
Mexican.
As Japanese. We're
Wait,
not Mexican.
is he 100% Japanese?
Are you.
Then he doesn't have any fucking purview to tell you what to feel about your
I
ethnic
know. No,
makeup.
don't get me wrong. I thought it was extremely rude.
Correct. That guy sounds like a fucking racist.
Well, yeah. I mean, his last name means lettuce in Spanish, so he's pretty bitter about that. Um,
Say watery and crunchy as well.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think like but sometimes like I remember when I was asking the Asian club at Century College,
Yep.
like, can mixed people join?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Yeah, are you mixed?" And I said, "Yeah." And they asked what I am, and I told them, and they like called over their friends, and they were like, "Tell them."
What?
And but they thought it
What?
was the coolest thing ever,
Oh, all right.
and I was like, I
Yeah,
mean, and that was like a while ago.
we had an Asian and Asian American students like club at UMD where I went to. I never even approached. I was like, no way, I don't count. Because I saw like quote unquote real Asians in there all the time, you know? Because it was the same thing. As I feel like I'm only 25% Japanese. Like I feel like I don't count. So I guess that sort of answers my own question. But like, where do I put my sort of ethnic identity? We're me. I think me more than you are so white passing. So like, it kind of doesn't matter what I identify as. Like that's what people like sort of see
Dude,
on the street at a pass.
yeah, and it's that because we feel so differently about that with each other. Because I
Mm.
feel like you look more not Asian, but something than me.
Damn. Um, yeah, no, you're right. The joke in high school was that Rob is ethnically ambiguous.
Yes. So is
Which
Dad.
I mean, Dad at least, if you said, "Oh, Asian," you could see it like that. If you lived
Yeah.
anywhere that wasn't Minnesota, you would probably, if you lived on either coast, you would guess Asian pretty quickly. But because he lived in Minnesota, specifically Duluth, people were like, "Oh, he's Native American."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because dad is
I
half Japanese, and let's be real, looked like a Native American guy.
absolutely.
Even
And
just
we
the way he
also went
dressed, he always
we
had a
went
fucking bandana on his head, man. Like he'd lean way in.
yes. Yes. And we went to so many powwows. Like, did you go to powwows with Dad?
I went to at least one or two. Yeah, like that's
Okay,
not even a
yeah.
bit, you guys. We did. We actually did.
Our Japanese dad brought us to a lot of powwows, mostly because he loved fry bread.
It's good food. I
Because fry
know.
bread slaps.
It slaps. It's everything you want and nothing you don't. I think
Yeah,
too,
man.
like dad. Okay. So here's the thing I've come to understand and appreciate more about dad now that I'm older, and also a dad myself. I think it's like he had this sort of like very like natural curiosity about other people in the world around him.
Mhm.
He was always so down to explore and like find things out. Like dad was always asking questions. I think we've talked on this podcast itself a lot about like how everywhere you'd go with dad, he'd like make a new friend.
Yes.
And I think a lot of what that boiled down to is him being so ready to just ask questions, ask anybody any
Mhm.
question because he's so curious. And
Yes.
I think that's something that, as a kid especially, I didn't really cop to or like understand what was going on. I thought dad was
Yeah.
just like a weirdly talkative old man, which maybe he was also that.
Yeah.
But I think it stems from this sort of like very like, bone deep curiosity that he had. I can appreciate now, especially as a kid, because I got to do things and see things because dad was curious about it that I probably wouldn't have gotten to do and see otherwise.
Mhm.
Including a bunch of really shitty movies from the DVD section that no one else touches, like My Magic Dog, and movies about the spirit of a knight who comes back and haunts this kid and teaches him how to be a man in like 19 or early 90s LA. Dude, the
Interesting.
movies I've seen because dad brought them home. There were none that were okay. They were either
Hmm.
god awful terrible or they like literally changed my life. Like dad brought home the Motorcycle Diaries one day and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. And it literally changed the trajectory of my entire life. I probably never told him that, but he would love to hear it.
Yeah. That's how I
Uh,
felt about The Music Within.
I don't think I saw that.
That was a later dad obsession.
The Music Within?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie about a guy that was in the Vietnam War, and he was the one that started the American Disability Act. Oh, I would
Oh,
lose our bananas if we didn't know this acronym, but the ADA.
the
Um,
ADA, yes.
so and so he loses his hearing in one ear, and then befriends a guy with cerebral palsy, and they become best
Hmm.
friends, and like
Huh,
he like is thrown into the world of disabilities, and
sure.
um
Was it good?
it was incredible.
Yeah. And I bet dad just read the back of the box and went, huh, and just tucked it under his arm at Blockbuster that night.
Yes. Yes.
But he did the same thing with Balls of Fury, which I didn't even watch.
Yeah, that did not change our lives.
That did not. No, I had very little. Dude, I don't think I told you this. I had a dream with dad in it the other night, like
Oh
earlier this
man.
week.
Yeah.
You ever have those?
Yes, but not for a long time, but they're so good.
Dude, it was a long time since I had a dream with dad in it. It was so wild because it was like a little nothing dream. Like, we were back at
Most of mine are nothing, which
yeah. Okay, so I had one right after he passed, like maybe within 2 months after he passed away. That was weird. Not weird, but another little nothing dream, and it had the same feeling as this one, where it was in the house where we grew up, and
all of my dreams take place at mom and dad's house.
really?
Yes.
It's where we spent our formative years, so I guess that makes sense. That's where I have the most spatial memory of, was that building, I suppose.
That makes sense.
But in the one that I had earlier, I want to say like Monday night maybe, but right before we had the big storms, we were having some, like, it was like a gathering of some kind, like a holiday or a party or something like that. And like everyone was there, like Mo was there, like our kids were there. So it was very much like modern times, you know?
Yeah.
I was like me in my normal 37-year-old man body. And I remember I was like holding like a plate of like food or snacks, like hors d'oeuvres basically, and like being a host and handing things out to people. And I went downstairs, all the way down all the stairs, and I went into like the living room in the basement, which was finished the way it is right now, not the way it was when Dad was alive.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dad was sitting in a chair, which doesn't exist in real life. It's like on it was a chair. It was a blue suede revolving chair that was like stationed up against the wall of like where his Nordic track used to be. This means nothing to anyone who hasn't lived in our house when we were kids in the 90s. I don't care. And Dad was just sitting there in the chair, right? He's just sitting there like he's been at the party the whole time. Like nothing is weird about him being there. And this is where things get odd, because I feel like in this moment I made it was almost like lucid dreaming, because it felt like I was going off script. Like I was like, in this moment, the thing you're supposed to do is just say hi to Dad, or not even acknowledge that he's there, continue passing out snacks to people at the party. But then I stopped, turned and set the tray down on like the couch nearby, and Dad stood up, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I looked at him, and I said, yeah. And I was like, and even in the moment, I was like, I felt like I was doing something like I'm not supposed to be doing. Like I said, like I'm going off script. This isn't the way this interaction is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I could like almost sense Dad having the same feeling. Like he was feeling like, ooh, like we're ad-libbing now. And like I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, Dad, I love you. I need to say that right now, because I don't know if I got this chance to say that enough before.
Yeah.
And he just said, I know. And he hugged me, and then I woke up.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really nice, you know? And so like when I have dreams with Dad in it, it's just always that. It's just like I get to see him, and it was great because, like, for those of you who haven't experienced loss of someone very close to you, something that maybe you don't realize you're afraid of happening until it's a possibility that it could happen, is that you start to forget what they look like, or what or you forget what they sound like, or you forget what they feel like what their presence in a room is like. And in that dream, I didn't forget. In that dream, he was there. He was like three-dimensional.
Yeah.
My dad, you know, and it was like I said earlier. I have to take a breath here. I'm getting ramped up. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm becoming
Don't bring emotion into this.
I am in a heightened emotional state.
Cool.
So shortly after Dad passed away, I had a dream, and it was a very similar thing. It was just like, here is what should be a completely natural interaction, and like I'm going off script because I need to like address that Dad is here. And like I was just like upstairs in the house, of course, and like Dad walked through the door in the landing and was like taking off his boots, and he was wearing like that big dark blue parka coat, you know, that he had with like a bajillion fucking pockets on it. With the pockets, that's the one, the pocket coat, yeah. And he's wearing this a million coats, and I remember like being like, holy shit, and like I ran down the stairs, and I like hugged him, and I think I like grabbed him by the collar almost, by the thing, and it was almost like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, you're dead. Right. Like, why am I seeing you right now? Like, this is insane. And he was like, in the moment, he was like, whoa, Robbie, what are you talking about? It's not a good dad voice. But it was
No,
call me
that's
Robbie.
not what our father sounded
That's not what
like.
he sounded like. He probably sounded more like I do in my normal speaking
Yeah,
voice. But he
Jesus.
was like, Robbie, what are you talking about? And I was just like, freaking, like, I remember being so focused on his glasses. So like his glasses like sitting on his face, looking exactly the way I remember them always sitting on his face. I don't know. But that was, and then I think there was like one other dream where I had in
Man,
between
I wish I could remember the
settings.
fucking dreams. I think it's because like they're not prolific at all.
They're so like normal,
Yeah.
and I guess it's not like
But I am queen of having the most insane dreams.
you've had some
Um
fucking bangers, dude. I have also had some wild ass dreams. Tell me one of yours. Let's do a dream trade. Let's do a dream swap. That's what the episode is
all
about
right,
now,
all right.
guys.
Honestly.
Did you want fitness contest? Fuck
Your
off.
your next best move is to tell your craziest dream.
Tell me your wildest dream. I got dreams about Mexico. I gotta tell you about, but
All right, all right, all
you hit
right.
me with one.
So this is yes, I was pregnant. Pregnancy makes you have weird dreams.
Wild dreams.
I biologically have always had weird dreams. I remember as a child, literally elementary school, I used to always have a reoccurring dream of walking into a theater, like a big giant Broadway theater, and there was a bunch of horses in the seats clapping their hooves together. The end.
I think you've told me about that before, actually. Yeah.
Yes, because it was all the time. Every day, the day before the first day of school, I had a dream that I was missing my backpack and my pants. Just very average, whatever dreams. But
Yeah.
so I've biologically always had weird dreams. I'm also on a medicine that makes you have what they call vivid dreams, and I was like, that's not accurate enough.
Okay.
And then I was pregnant, so it's like the trifecta of weird. And then to
Yeah.
just put the cherry on top, I had just watched the Squid Games. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, my bestie Jake, yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I had a dream that we were in Korea together. Does it take place in Korea? Is it Korea?
Yes, Korea, South
Yeah.
Korea, correct.
Okay. And so it kind of only it makes sense if you've seen the Squid Games. No, it doesn't. It's still insane. Um so we were like outside with all the other contestants and eating lunch, and you had to like put your tray in these specific ways when you were done with your food, and Jake wasn't doing it, and Jake was just like, I just want to dance.
Classic.
Classic Jake. And I
Classic
remember he
Jake.
like got on top of these lunch tables and was like dancing around in his little Squid Game suit.
Very High School Musical.
Oh my god, yes. He
Hip
was
Hop Parade.
Zac Efroning around. Jake looks exactly like Zac Efron.
Jack Efron.
Jack Efron, indeed. And then they got mad at him and like pulled him down, and they're like, now you need to enter the games because you messed up, and now you have to do the what I nicknamed as the hotcha dance. And so we
Okay.
had to, so in Japan there are like these very narrow little alleyways that are just a bunch of different like little bars, restaurants, stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
their late night thing. So that's kind of like what it was. But so we had to essentially go entertain these drinkers through these little neighborhood things.
Okay.
But we had to dress up first, and I couldn't find anything because what even in my dream I was like, nothing will fit.
Oh God. Okay.
But then I found this giant leather bustier. Um,
Okay. The dream Bustier.
Yes, that was just, like, way too big in every way, so it was, like it, like, felt kinda wooden, and I couldn't I was like, "I can't even dance in this." Oh, yeah, and then we had to, like, give tokens every time we passed by a restaurant, and, you had to, like, I don't know, press this button, these little wood tokens came out, and they said, "But you need a lighter," and I'm like, "I don't have a lighter," and I was like, I wonder if I could just make the sound," and I remember being like, which I was probably doing in my sleep because I talk in my sleep.
100%.
Um, and so then we all got dressed up, did our makeup. I had my ready to go and my wooden
Yeah.
chips, and then we walked around. And I wish, I wish this the only time I wish this was in video because we like put okay. So when you do like the touchdown hands,
Yes.
yes, it was like, "Ha, cha," and then he, like, put him up, put him down, and then he was like, "Ha, cha, ha, ha, cha," and then it was just us parading through going, "Ha, ha, cha," like, all in our weird outfits, paying our wooden tokens,
Yeah.
and then when somebody, like, needed a light, I'd just be like, "Oh god, somebody put a lighter in front of me and I'll make the noise." Yeah, the end.
Good dream.
Thank you. Oh god.
Can I give you one of mine now?
I would love it.
All right. So in college, I studied abroad in Mexico for a semester, and going to Mexico was a legitimate lifelong goal of mine.
Mm,
I actually and figuratively dreamed of it for like of years and years and years. I wanted to make my career in Mexico. I wanted to live and work in Mexico. I wanted to make my life doing archaeology and cultural studies in Mexico. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. That's a story for another time. But in like the week or the weekend before, like boarding the plane and going to Mexico City, I had this wild dream. And in this dream, I start out like in front of this huge building, this like skyscraper building. And I know that I have to like get to the top of it. And at the bottom floor, it's just like a lobby, whatever, big office building, very posh, whatever. And you go up, and every floor I go up, it's like the same cast of people. And it's like a bunch of people that I know from my high school graduating class. It was
hmm.
like randos, not like
Yeah, right.
close friends or whatever. Just like, you know, because I've been with these people since like kindergarten, essentially. Like I know their faces and their voices and things like that.
And because
Like
our graduating classes were like 900,
yes,
so we have a lot to choose from.
there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of people in there. And like I was never particularly close to anyone in my graduating class, particularly for whatever reason. But like every time I'd go up a floor, it'd be like the same cast of people. But every time I'd go up, they would get like more and more like devolved or like savage, I guess, and like
Ooh.
dirtier. Yeah,
Ew.
like on floor one, like above the lobby, it was like normal gathering of normal people, and then by like floor whatever 50, they're like basically naked and covered in mud, and then like they've lost language and they're just like fighting and killing each other. Like it's
It's
just this
very what an anthro dream.
exactly. I was balls deep in my anthropology degree at this time too,
Yes.
so I was thinking about this stuff all the time anyways. Um and yeah, so like like the second the penultimate floor, I remember like going like the elevator opens and like there's all these people who I thought I knew, and they're just like these like filthy savages like killing and eating each other in front of me basically. And it's like I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I like go back really quick into the elevator, like ding, the thing closes, and like my friend, this not my friend, this guy I know, Luke specifically, I remember Luke reaches his hand through the door. I have to like shove it out like an
Ooh.
action movie. Like,
Ooh.
get out of here, Luke.
Yeah.
And then I go up to the top floor, last stop. The door
The
opens and
most savage.
it's our house.
Oh. Oh.
It's the living room of our home on the top floor of our house.
Wow.
And
okay, M. Night Shyamalan.
And it's empty except for
Oh, now I'm nervous. I'm legitimately scared.
a live jaguar.
Of course, it's a jaguar.
Of course, it's a jaguar. If you know anything about Mexico and Mexican history and Aztec Mayan culture, the jaguar features heavily in their iconography and mythology. So
heavy jag vibes.
Heavy jaguar vibes. Such a cool animal. Oh my God, you
Title.
guys. Heavy jag vibes. So this jaguar is hunting me in this thing. So I'm like, oh my God, like it pounces at me and I leap. It falls down the stairs and dashes back up because it's jaguar. It's fast as hell. Comes back up. It's jaguar's fast as hell. Leaps up the stairs in one go. Leaps at me again. I have to like dodge. Like I'm on the couch. It's following me. Like our house has like that. We kind of like run around where the TV was, you know,
mm-hmm.
like by where the center console and like the kitchen and the living room.
Yeah, the thing that we knocked down in our house.
Thank God. Good choice.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got to do a couple donuts with the jaguar hot on my tail on there, and then I run off into my room and I shut the door. And I can hear it like scratching and snarling at me from across like on the other side of the door. I was like, this animal will kill and eat me if I don't figure something out right now. And in my old room, under my bed is a spear with like an obsidian point, which again, if you're familiar with ancient Mesoamerican cultures, Aztec technology, the obsidian point, the obsidian blade features very heavily culturally. It's significant. And I get this obsidian pointed spear and I wait for the jaguar to like have like a moment of like pause in between its like scratching at the door. And I have the spear in one hand, the doorknob in the other hand, and I turn the doorknob and fling it open as I leap backwards at the same time. And the jaguar like it explodes through the door, and I've got the spear in front of me, and it lands on the obsidian point, and it dies. And I drive it into the ground, and then I use the spear point to cut it open, like open up its belly.
The sound effects of it all.
Yeah, and when I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and then when I open up, you open up jaguar inside.
Yeah. Is it baby Rob?
No, it's jewels. It's like these like incredibly colorful, like amazing, like star-shaped, huge pineapple-sized
pineapple. That's excessive.
Like jewels and gems. They're like gold and ruby and sapphire. These amazing, like, and it's like lit from inside. I was like, whoa! And like I'm like letting them tumble through my hands. And I remember waking up and be like, this means something.
Yeah.
It again. I was also studying philosophy at the same time at this point in college, and I was and I was also just like a liberal arts student in his early 20s, so I was very far up my own ass in general. So I feel like
right.
There's a kind of dream who someone considers themselves very important and intelligent and have and like assume there's meaning to it, but like it stuck with me for a reason. Like it's a very memorable, cool dream. It's definitely
the fault in that dream is that the jaguar could easily knock down that door due to all the pennies that I stuck in the door jamb, so you couldn't have never shut your door completely.
But the jaguar didn't know that, did he, Rachael?
What an idiot.
Probably.
Put some pennies in the door jamb and you'd get them. Do you know that my first boyfriend was a quarter Aztec?
Mexican?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
I had a dream earlier this week, sort of a dream, when we were having those like wild storms. Like everyone's kid was fucking awake.
Linnea slept through.
That's buck wild. I'm very happy that you had that journey. But there is our power went out for a while, so our heat went out for a while too. And like this is like a little bit
air conditioning,
whatever. So it got hot. And like the kid was like kind of calmed down again, and like I was still very restless. So I came downstairs to like lay on the couch and try and sleep where it was a little bit cooler. And I was very much. This was at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So I'm like not with it. mentally, and like I'm kind of awake, kind of not awake. I'm still in this very like heightened state again, because it's like this was a frightening storm for me as an adult to have to
Big
experience.
boys.
Big strong ass winds, dude. It's been
Yes.
some
I
scary
literally like
storms this
walked in the
summer.
door and 30 seconds later.
Yeah, I walked out the door and got blasted in the face on the way
Okay.
home from work, and I was like, I need to run to my car. And then that continued for several hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had this like, it was one of those like half dreams, like maybe a hallucination or whatever, of like there's something or someone in the space with me. There's like a sleep paralysis thing almost, but like I don't know. I've never really actually had sleep
Ooh,
paralysis, but it's like there's like
yeah.
this presence in the room, and like it spoke to me. Like it has this like this deep gravelly, like scary voice, and it's just saying stuff like,
Scary
Rob,
stuff?
yeah, I mean, it's like, Rob, you know who I am. Rob, you
Ooh,
know why I'm here.
that's
And
pretty
like I'm like,
scary.
I'm not talking, but I can think back to it. I can project my thoughts to it and communicate with this presence that way. And it says like, Rob, like you know who I am, you know why I'm here. And I'm like, I don't think I do know who you are. Like, explain yourself. Who are you? And then like the thing says back, and it's like, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know who General Grievous is. It has a face like General Grievous and a voice not unlike it. You can YouTube it.
Yeah, no
And
fucking thank you.
this
Sounds scary.
General Grievous ghost says like, well, you know who I am because I'm you. I'm in your mind. Like I only know what you know. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is the worst like ghost interaction I've ever had. And it's like, the thing was like, you are thinking me up right now, dude. It was like this very underwhelming conversation of like,
Yeah.
you realize you are talking to a figment of your own imagination, and you are having somehow a conversation with it. And it's like, this is dumb. I'm going to sleep.
Oh my god.
Then I passed down on the couch for a little while. So
Okay,
that was less
interesting.
exciting. Less exciting dream.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I like specifically my coworkers that I used to work with when I was pregnant would just be screaming knowing that I like am forgetting all these dreams. Because
Mo never
man,
remembers her dreams either.
I do remember them, but like once I've
Mm.
told them is the thing. I also will have I am
Um,
notorious for having insane dreams. Oh yeah, I remember this. And it's not even I don't remember the dream, but I remember waking up and thinking to myself, I have to remember this dream.
yeah.
Um this is insane. And so I like was half asleep and writing a note on my phone and it said like cat sex money. And I woke up the next
Love that
morning
album.
and I was like, what?
What?
What's cat sex money?
What?
Oh yeah. Speaking, so kind of tying in a little bit of dream, a little bit of dead dad. That, um, I would, sometimes would I'm also half in, half out believing in like I 100% believe in spirits. I don't know how I feel about spirits interacting with us in the world, kind of thing.
Okay.
But there would be times where I'd just be like alone, and then I'd be like, "All right, Dad, if you're here,
Mm.
show me." No, please don't. That's spooky.
No, I changed my mind. Yeah.
And specifically because Dad used to always say like, "Oh, that's spooky," and like he'd be like, "No, I don't watch horror movies, they're too spooky."
Yes.
And so I literally would always know, like, I know even if I asked Dad to, like, show himself in some way that he would be
Yeah.
like,
It's
"Nope,
too
it's
spooky.
gonna scare my daughter,
It's gonna
and
scare you.
it's too spooky."
You're gonna have nightmares, kid.
Though I did have which is a whole different that's way too long of a story, but had, like, a session with a medium. shortly after Dad died.
You and Mom both did, I believe, right? With the same one?
Yes, because everyone was naysaying me, and then I brought up a few things that Mom was just like, "I didn't know that you didn't even know about that." And I was like, "What?" And then she was like, "What?" And then I was like, "What?"
Well, I'm convinced.
I thought so.
Yeah, Mom offered to send me to that same medium, and I declined.
I think that's you believe in like online dino ghosts or something, but you're not gonna believe like
Ghosts
this.
live in the internet.
I am saying the way this woman described not only Dad's physicality, because obviously you can go and look at pictures.
Sure.
Obviously, she had never met Dad. The way she described his mannerisms, his attitude, that his being in that room, he
Yeah.
literally said this feels like a girl thing.
Yeah.
Which is so Dad.
It's a very Dad thing to say. It's a
It's
very
like
Dad feeling to feel.
very unaware of how sexist he is. And like
He's a product of his generation, okay?
not in a jerk way.
Not in
Like
a
a
jerk way.
really good example of Dad being sexist, to my benefit, is that when the family got a new car, it went to me, because if the car broke down on the side of the road and I had it, I would get raped. If it broke down on the side of the road and you had it, you'd be fine. Learned how to change a tire. You're a man.
And I did.
Yeah.
And I am. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'm over here like, thanks, Dad.
Right. God.
Yeah, so she doesn't do medium work anymore. Don't hit me up. I'm sad.
She doesn't? Why? Do you know why not? Did she just...
She does
Was there an
like
incident?
energy. Girl, I asked her if she's ever like,
Girl.
and she's like, she was
I heard
like,
you say it.
I know. It's so a part of me.
It's fine, whatever, dude.
It's in my DNA.
I call everyone bro and dude. It's fine.
Yeah, I say girl and bitch. I'm saying. She does like energy healing and stuff now.
Energy healing.
Shut up.
I'm just repeating what you're saying back to me.
I'm
in a flat, neutral tone.
saying the two words that you just said.
Energy healing.
Personal training.
Maybe that's the title of the episode. Energy healing.
What?
I don't. Maybe in brackets or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, good for her. I love that journey for her. Rachel, are you ready to hit a hard left turn as we get this podcast back on course? Did you bring some fat facts for us?
Oh yeah, I thought we weren't even going to do that. All right,
we're getting to it. We're getting to it. We're diving right back in, guys.
Fair enough. Okay, so in the previous episode, I had talked about the fact that everyone was so shook. Not everyone, but a few people brought it up that they were so shook that they didn't think about the fact that when you're a teenager and you would go to the mall, if you had a plus size friend, or if you were my friend, I did not like going because I could not fit in anything, and then I would just pretend like the purses were super interesting. That was always my go-to. Look at the accessories. You're never too fat for a purse. Unless it's a crossbody.
Good
then
tip.
You can be. Yeah. So a couple of which I kind of covered these already, so I guess they're not like uber new, but whatever. But I said going shopping, having to guess if the stores carry your size, and like what, and like looking for signage but not making it look really obvious.
What kind of things would you look for?
Things that say like plus size or
okay.
Like sizes blank to like normally 24 is the end of this. Mm-hmm. You can only be this fat.
Sure.
Must be this fat to fit. Right. And so specifically, if you do decide to go, and I never do that. I will not go into a store unless I know that they carry plus sizes, because the shame that you feel when people and you can absolutely tell the way the employees treat you. like do you know what the buckle challenge is?
Walking to the front and back without having anyone fucking talk to you.
Yeah, guess who won every time?
Oof, duh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Congratulations.
yeah. Yeah, I played that one time and then I cried on the way back. Anyway, so they're at the stores that do carry plus sizes, they're not just like mixed in, which I guess I can appreciate. But there's always like this tiny little section, which just kind of feels like you're at the zoo and it's just like this is where the manatees are.
Like it's an
And
alcove of the mall where there's specifically a cluster of these plus size stores.
no. In a store, there's an alcove
Oh, okay.
of plus size clothing.
Got it.
So it
Okay.
changes from extra small to XL to 1, 2, 3, 4, like normally, or like 1X, 2X, 3X. That's another thing that people do not recognize. When I worked for this one company and I told this gal you need to carry plus sizes in your clothes, she was just like, well, we have a double XL. And I'm like, oh my God, your normal size is showing. A double XL is a normal size still. I mean, all sizes are normal, but like, is it like an atypical friggin'
Right.
size? Or a
Is it
typical, whatever.
outside the norm?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. When you get into plus sizes, it's like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4.
Okay, so
Sometimes
plus size is its own like designation with its own sizing math to it.
yes,
Okay. I didn't
yes,
know that.
correct. See,
We're
um,
learning things.
right, but it just sucks that you just like have to walk around these like 5 different little
Yeah.
shelves, and you can only and then you just like look at all these other smaller people looking at their smaller clothes, and it's just
Assholes.
like I'm just like, hey.
What
There has
up?
been, because like you got to live it up, a few times where I've had stragglers breeze into my uh habitat.
It's okay. What do you mean? Like
Like the
not plus
zebras
size
come over to
people?
the manatee section
That's not what
and
I fucking mean, dude. Like
uh,
one of your friends like winds up coming with you to the plus size and she's not plus size or what?
no, I mean just like complete strangers, and then I can
Oh,
see the confusion in their in their faces when they're like, what are these numbers?
the little
um
normal size ass faces.
Correct.
Okay.
Their lack of double chin cannot.
Their single chin cannot
Their,
possibly
their
comprehend
one weak little chin.
weak single chin having brain.
And then so it is my favorite to be like, you're in the plus size section.
You don't belong here.
Just crumbs all over my face.
Little
Um,
man, you in the wrong place.
and they just feel like uber uncomfortable, but I'm like, I feel uber uncomfortable just living, so now you get
Everyone
to
feels
taste it.
uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, it tastes like cupcakes. Um, so yeah, that covers my other ones. Wondering the weight of or wondering the weight limit for chairs. There is a weight limit for every type of chair, and I know, which is such a disgusting thing, that like which style of chair has a
Mm,
higher capacity.
what? What
Like,
kind?
so Adirondack chairs are always a go-to.
Sure. Solid
Specifically,
construction.
yes. Like stacking chairs, stuff like stacking dining chairs,
Hmm.
specifically the metal ones.
Sure.
They're always up to 500. But most are going to be about 250.
Huh.
2 to 250. Like decently built stuff, 250. Really crappy like those plastic folding lawn chairs, like with the
Mm.
little lines like that are lined with like cords or something, like plastic cords.
Like nylon
Yeah, like
weave.
any like that weight limit is like
Yeah.
fucking 100 or
100 pounds.
something.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
those are
yeah.
awful. Like the aluminum
Yes.
frame. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
So yes, that I have. constantly. Or, people want to any like swings, something like that. Like, am I going to take this playset down? Versus just a regular person that just thinks like, I'm going to swing.
Yeah.
To not have that like barrier of thought, like, am I going to wreck this chair? That sounds so nice. Privileged.
You say that's the thing. You don't even realize it. That's what privilege is. You don't even realize you have
right.
it. You know.
Right. Yeah. So fitting into booths when you go out to eat. If you are with somebody that is pretty overweight,
you could say plus size.
Don't pick a booth. Don't pick a booth.
No.
Don't be like that.
If you do
pick a booth, if you absolutely need to pick a booth, bring it over, like scoot the table in your side and being like, oh, it's so far away from me. Do a solid for your fat friend.
Be a friend.
And say, I want this closer to me because I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm a good person. Anyway, checking if you're the fattest one in the room immediately. Whatever space you go into. Am I the fattest one here? Normally the answer is yes. It fucking sucks.
Odd. Yeah.
Being overly aware of what you're eating in public. If you eat a salad, you might as well give up, you're fat. If you're eating a burger, no wonder you're fat.
Sure.
Nothing I eat is safe.
Yeah.
That is 100% like my thoughts put onto other people. I have no idea. It's like telling Missy, like, everyone's judging me at the gym and everyone thinks that like I should just give up. And she's just like, nobody cares.
Nobody's thinking about you.
Right. So I don't know. I do this really toxic thing.
What? Rachael?
That when I am hard into Fitter Rachael, and Fitter Rachael is going shopping, grocery shopping, and I put all my Fitter Rachael groceries on it. I'm like, ooh, look at me. And then I see somebody put some like ruffles on. And I was like, wonder what that's like.
God. I will say, as a fitness coach, I do scope what's in people's carts, but not in a judgmental way. Like, I'm just curious about what like the average person is buying out there. And to like sort of like, maybe it's less of a coach thing, more of like an anthropology thing, like a general human curiosity thing. Like, what's your life like with what you're buying right now? Like, what are you making with that? What are the choices you're doing?
Yes, I like to watch men to be like, are you single? Not because I want to date them, but it's very obvious.
It's very obvious. Yeah. Yes. 6 things of cereal in a 6-pack. Okay.
Yes. Dude, I was at Walmart yesterday and this guy walked past this display of Rice Krispies and he goes, whoa, $6?
Hold the phone.
I was just like,
I'm 100% have done that shit in this store. I talk to myself all the time.
I talk to Linnea a lot. And especially like when she was a baby, like my favorite thing would be like, yo, if you see the ketchup first, will you let me know?
Yeah. Dude, I talked to Olivia literally it was like an unbroken stream of consciousness talking to her the entire time she was in that car when she was a baby. Like, people would be like, because she was very verbose as a child and she remains. But people would be like, wow, I can tell you, like, we can tell that you talk to this kid a lot. Like, apparently it's a huge thing. It's like talking to, not just around your child, but like to your child when they're an infant. Like, really affects their like language development. And people will be like, I can tell you talk to this kid a lot. It's like, yeah, I talk to myself at this kid. Don't get it twisted.
She was just there.
I don't have an inner monologue. It is an outer monologue, and I can direct it at another person. I digress, Rachel. Give us a few more fat facts if you have any more, please.
Do I have any more? Oh yeah, you can't wear cute food themed garb.
Oh, you've talked about this before, yeah.
Yeah. But guess what? I saw the cutest ice cream cone backpack that I've ever seen, and I bought it.
Good for you.
I'm proud of myself because it was adorable, and I know Linnea would love it.
There you go. Well, is it for you or is it for the kid?
I mean, it's technically for me, but I did just buy Linnea a dino backpack that she was very excited about.
Sick. Dinos rule.
Yeah, and then I was just like, oh, hell yeah, this is so cute. I'm going to wear this, like, as well. But,
whatever.
No. I mean, this isn't even, like, a little kid's backpack. This is, like, a toddler backpack.
Does it even fit, like, an adult person?
No.
But what's the issue? It sounds like you can't even wear it.
No. The dino backpack is for Linnea. The ice cream backpack is for adults. And
okay.
Yes.
Would it be more or less appropriate than wearing a coffin backpack to a funeral? It says dead inside.
Dead inside?
Bruh. Girl.
Read the
room. Bitch. Like, what are you doing?
That was also at the same event that I said anybody that has more than one dachshund is absolutely insane. And then this girl's just like, so me and my 4 dachshunds, and Lindsay like grabbed my arm and she was like, you idiot!
We got her good with the emotional eating thing later on, though. That's fine.
Yeah, we sure did.
We got you, Lindsay.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of external monologue, I keep meaning to tell this story that at my chiropractor, like I have 0 filter.
What?
This just in.
Shocking all listeners.
This just in. People that have listened to me say unhinged things for like 20 episodes.
For like 15, I think, yeah.
Whatever. So I was at my chiropractor, and my chiropractor does this like pressure point thing where he like tells what is going on with you. And it's just like nervous system.
I haven't said anything.
Muscular, blah blah blah. And so he like hits this one point, and I was just like, oh yep. And he's like, oh, that's digestive. And I said, oh well, that makes sense because of my period. And he said, what, like, is that related to your digestive system? And I said, well, yeah, because period poops.
Okay.
And he was just like, what?
Is he like not ready to hear this? Like as a body professional?
I was also kind of confused. I was just like, you are, a body professional and you're married to a woman that I assume has had a period.
And probably even period poops.
Period poops. He was just like, I was just like, oh, apparently, your wife has been like not the realist with you, or she's God's favorite and doesn't have this issue. But yeah, so just so you know, Dr. Jamie, you poop yourself silly when you're ejecting your uterine lining. You're ejecting everything else inside of you.
Everything goes with it.
And then the front desk girl Lynn was like, mm-hmm.
Real shout out to Lynn, a real one.
I hear that.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
the shit people tell me as a personal trainer, like nothing phases me anymore. Like about like body things, because because that's the thing. Like people are like, oh, I don't know if it's TMI, but I am on my flow this week. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, okay. It is not. It is a reasonable amount of information for me to have
like,
as a person who's about to make you do.
I might sweat.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like, I might get a little stinky at the end of today if I have to work out really hard. It's like, I'm about to put you through like an excessive.
I want you to get stinky.
Like strenuous.
Bitch, I'm gonna make you stinky.
Bitch, I'm gonna make you stink. Oh. Yeah, there's some ASMR that nobody asked for.
Title?
No. Nah, homie.
Immediately no. All right. We're an hour in. I'm gonna end this. Oh.
Okay. I was gonna ask.
Okay.
Fat facts. As someone who experiences, knowing or unknowing, we'll say, quote unquote, average sized body privilege. is there something I or others can do to sort of like help or like lessen the load or like
what a great
ease the
question.
pain, you know? Because I feel
Yeah,
like
I
there's
mean, like,
things like we would think to do, like, oh, maybe if we, X, Y, Z, but like, again, that's coming from a place of privilege. Like, what would be the easiest move in your eyes that someone can do if they have
um,
someone who they care about who is,
yeah, I get, like little things like pull the booth out, don't
yeah,
ask to go shopping in Wet Seal. Um,
just don't go to malls anymore, guys.
I
Fuck that
mean,
whole scene.
literally, who goes to malls?
They're sad now. Have you been to a
Every
mall lately? They're sad now.
every time I go, there's like a good amount of people in there.
Yeah, being sad.
No, they look pretty happy. It's very
They're lying.
confusing. They're
No,
young. It's the youth.
they got nowhere else to go.
I mean, yeah, they're all just filming TikToks.
But answer my question.
Yeah, I think give people the choice, and unless then it's hard to like give them the choice, but to say like, where do you want to sit? Where do you want to go shopping? What do
Mm,
you want to do? Um, kind of thing. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, instead of saying, would you like me to pull the table closer to me? Just
yeah.
pull the table closer to
Just
you.
do it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
don't do weird eyes with it. It's 'cause you're fat.
Don't give them fat eyes.
Yeah, don't give me those fat eyes.
What about movie theaters? I feel like that's is
I
that
mean,
is that a source of pain?
no, but oh god, stadium seats, concert seats. Oh my
Mm.
god, when we were at the concert yesterday, they told us,
Yeah.
oh my
Okay.
god, they told us
Yeah.
to go all the way down the row. We had to go by everybody. It's a freaking nightmare putting my fat ass into everybody's faces and then come to find out we're at the end of the row.
Oh, like you should have just gone to the other set of stairs.
Correct. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Security?
Security.
God, rude.
This right here.
Um, ugh. But yeah, no, movie theaters, pretty Gucci in my opinion. I mean, unless you're like incredibly large.
Afraid of the dark. Oh, yeah. That's what I was gonna say too.
Uh, then most movie theater seats are fine.
I guess they are pretty plush now. And they
Yeah,
got like recliners and stuff.
yeah, right.
All right,
So that's fine.
cool. Thank you
But
for answering that final question, Rachel.
yeah,
I think this is a good episode. We went super far off the rails, but I feel pretty good about it.
I think so too.
Enjoy our dreams, everyone.
I hope you have weird dreams too. If you have crazy dreams, post them somehow. How do people
Yeah.
interact with the show? We should make it a clear thing.
On the Discord, for God's sake. Go to rffitness.net. That's RFFIT. RFFITNESS.net. Go to the bottom of the page. Click join the party on Discord. Click the button.
Okay, fine.
Then,
fine.
Ta-da,
I thought
there,
okay.
That's it.
Maybe to clarify then with people, you can be on the Discord and only talk about the podcast. You don't have to do anything with the fitness side of it.
No. Most people on the Discord don't do anything with the fitness side of it. If you're on the Discord,
okay.
You'll see the posts sometimes. You can mute things. If you're not a Discord person, you can go to rffitness.net, rffitness.net.
Okay.
Just go to the bottom of the page. You can find me on Instagram there. Or if you're on our Instagram, rf.fitness.online.
But I'm on the Discord. So if you want to talk to both of us, if you want to get double Finlaysoned, then
yeah, you can also comment on the Spotify if you're listening to us on Spotify.
Yeah, but I also don't get notified about that.
Yeah.
I want to be in on it. Don't leave me out.
Then do the Discord. Yeah,
that's pretty much do the Discord. Do the Discord.
It's free, guys. So many people are like, I don't like Discord on my phone. I don't like Discord on the app. I sound very whiny when I say that. There's a lot of people I care about who say things like that.
So rude.
But I don't know. Don't be a bitch about it, man. Just turn on.
Maybe don't be so fucking whiny and.
Maybe I don't know. Just adjust what your notification settings are.
Okay. Do you have any last?
Last what?
Isms, stories. Dreams.
No, dude, that's it. I'm trying to wrap up right now, dude.
I'm trying to tell a fucking story at the end.
Tell the story.
Thank you.
Close this out, Rachel. Close this out.
Okay, great. It's a story about my dog's penis.
I regret this so much already.
So my dog Porter absolutely hates being groomed. So I tried to groom him as least as possible. And I groomed him and I brought note his penis to Linnea because now she could see it visually way more. And I don't know. And so she just kept pointing at it, being like, Porter has a poopy. Porter has a poopy coming out of him.
Uh-huh.
And then I had to say, no, that is not poopy. That's Porter's penis. And then she would grab napkins and try to wipe it away. And she'd be like, wipe poopy?
Oh.
And I was just like, I cannot have you wiping this dog's penis continuously. Like,
none of this should be happening. Why are you telling this story, man?
So then I just had to say, we have vaginas. Porter has a penis. This is Porter's penis. Porter has a penis.
I need you to stop saying that, dude. It's killing me, man.
So she said, penis Porter? And I said, yeah. And she was like, oh, penis Porter. So his new nickname is Penis Porter.
Great.
You could even shorten it to PP, but that's still the theme.
This has been the RF Fitness Podcast. If you want to learn more, begin your fitness quest, you can go to rffitness.net. That's rffitness.net. Thank you. Keep questing. Goodbye.
Porter penis.